Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. In this episode, we will be continuing our playthrough of Storm of Steel, Ju-87 Stuka Eastern Front. This is from Compass Games and designer Joe Fernandez. This is the fourth mission of our campaign. We started at the very beginning with Operation Barbarossa. We are still in June of 1941 with our fourth mission. In this one, I'm electing to be a little bit conservative, I guess, and I'll go with 3 aircraft, which opens up the potential for a poor mission, as we'll have less aircraft that can perhaps make it through the bomb run and back. But all my crews have stress except the guys that are on this mission and my green crew of Denort and Fernandez, and those guys will get added depending on what I end up drawing here or rolling for our target. So depending on what the target is, we may add a 4th Stuka. I could stretch to 5. There are a couple crews that I could probably go with. They only have a 1 crew stress gunner. You can see those kind of down here. So we will we'll be rolling for our mission first, and then we're going to get right to business here. So to roll for our mission, we roll 3d6. And we get, wow, 2 and 2. So looking at our chart here, die roll is 2. That's a rail target. And the zone is 2, which means that it's really easy to get to. And I have a tendency to leave my old targets still on the board there. Here's the rail target. It is a small target, but it is in 2. So this actually works out. Perhaps my 3 Stukas will be good enough. Hopefully we don't roll bad weather and or heavy anti-aircraft fire. So once we've done that, we now have our target and we will begin our mission. Now the nice thing is here in zone 1, you cannot get intercepted. So we pull our event card. We get lead from the front. Inspired by the flight leader, remove 1 crew stress from 2 flying crews. I don't have any crew stress on this, and I should have perhaps taken one, at least one of the stressed crews, perhaps. But we're going to, as I said, toil on. Now we go to the second one, and the second one you also don't draw for interception, although you don't draw for an event either. All right. So since there is no possibility of interception or need to draw an event card, we roll 1d6 on our target visibility table, which is up in the corner. You guys can't really see it. 1 to 3 is good, 4, 5 is medium, 6 is low. We get a 5, that is medium, so that's not great. It gives us a +1 DRM on our target rolls. Now we roll for our anti-aircraft. We roll 1d10. We get an 8. An 8 is medium. And the target, we draw 2 aircraft. And let me put a medium on here for anti-air. Before I do that, I just realized I didn't do my ordnance. So we're going to do 2 SC-1000s on aircrafts 1 and 2, or aircraft 1 and 2. And then regular mission ordnance on number 3, which is Weigels. So I made Vutka the leader this time because he actually scored 100 when he was participating in the second mission of the campaign. So now let's draw our 2 targets. So 2 of our 3 are going to get attacked here. And we've got 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So they are both going to get target markers. 1 and 2. And now we roll for the attack. Okay, so we roll a d6 and a d10. We get a 2 and a 6. So the 6 column is the one you don't want to have because this is all the bad stuff. A 2 is engine. Okay, so this is going to be bad. We've got engine failure. Okay, engine failure on these. I think this is just bailout and landing. Okay, so this is aircraft 1. This is our leader. So because it's a 1, that means we have a bailout check and we're going to have a lost aircraft again. Or I shouldn't say again. I thought I had lost one last turn, but I did not. So it's on here. You can see engine and engine failure. And then 1 is roll for bailout. So on bailout, I believe that's one of the things that a veteran gets. Yes, veteran gets a -1 on bailout rolls. Now the bailout table is right here. And we roll a d6, and a 1 through 4 is successful. So with his -1, a 1 through 5 will be successful, and a 6 will be a reroll. He got a 1, so it's successful. So Vutka and Shanovsky actually were able to bail out. Oh, wait, +1 DRM engine failure. So they do have engine failure. So it's still a 2, which gets modded down by his DRM to a 1. So it ends up being the same thing. It's a successful bailout. So you may wonder what the next step is then, and then you have your table C4, successful bailout over enemy territory. We roll a d10. We get a 2. We are in zone 2. 1 to 8 is evasion successful, +3 crew stress. So I'm going to take Weigel and Sharnovsky, and they're going to go back to the pilot board, and they're both going to receive 3 crew stress. Oh, that is a 1 and a 2. Crew stress for both of them. And we have an aircraft down. It also is one of the 2 that has SC-1000, so that hurts as well. Now we do the same for aircraft number 2. So I'm going to roll our D6 and our D10 and hope we roll something better. A 9 and a 6, so again, this is going to be bad. So 9 is the tail. Okay, so we're going to put a damage on the tail. Right there. A second damage to a system will destroy the aircraft, so we have to keep that in mind. Then we look at number 6. We go all the way over here, 5 crew stress. So that's going to impact their ability to make their bomb run. Running out of crew stress markers here. Okay, so rather than make you watch me gather up all the markers, I just put 5 on here, and I did have a 1 and a 2 for that one. Okay, so that completes the anti-aircraft phase, thankfully, although that went pretty poorly. And now we'll roll our bomb runs. So we do have here, we do have a -2. We have a -2 for that, so we would move that down. But then because of the 5 crew stress, here on the crew stress effects table, it says 1d6, but you actually don't roll. This is just the level. So with 5, it's a +3 for DRM and then another +2 for landing. So that's a +3, so they get a +1 and a second +1 for visibility. So they're going to get a +2 on their damage die roll. And so we roll here on this table. We rolled a 9, which becomes a 10. It's a small target. That is a miss. So that is a miss. And this is going extremely poorly. Now over here, we do have, we don't have a die roll modifier for the ordnance. We do get a +1 because of the target visibility. And we got a 4, which becomes a 5, and a 5 on a small target is 50. So we got a score, total score for that mission of 50. Now we have to try to make our way home. So again, we don't have to draw interception at least. So we go here, we take our event card. Command confusion, move mission counter 1 zone away from formation. Do not roll for intercept. So we're already past, we already have completed the mission. We're going home, so I'm going to play this as a no effect. And then we're going to go to our landing. Now they get a +2 on their landing. He's a veteran pilot. He does have a damage, however, on his tail. So for landing, we get, here's our landing table. You can see 1 to 9 is a safe landing. Now he gets a -1 as a veteran pilot. He gets a +2 for 4 or more crew stress and a +1 for the damaged tail. So that's a +3 and a -1 is a +2. So he needs a 7 or less. And he rolls a 9. So a 9 in that case is going to be a forced landing. And we go here to this forced landing table and we roll again. And we get an 8, and an 8 is destroyed. Aircraft replace timer table, CC7, and then we have to roll again for crew survival. And a 6 for the pilot is a killed in action. And now we'll roll for the gunner, and it's a 4, and a 4 is survived plus 3 crew stress. Can they actually go as high as 8 crew stress? I guess maybe they can. Now our other one, he can land normally. I won't even need to roll because he's also a veteran. It has a -1, so it's a 1 to 10, which you can't roll lower than. You can't roll outside that range, I guess. So Kraus has been killed, so I'll have to remember to mark that down. And Rupert has 9 stress, and the aircraft has been destroyed. So we have a second aircraft to put on our destroyed timer. We have 2 here, 2 destroyed aircraft, and I'm going to put Rupert in our gunner box, and he's going to have 8 crew stress. So there's 3 and 5. He had 5, so he's got 8 crew stress, which is going to pretty much take him out of action for probably a good long while. Since he doesn't have a pilot anyway at the moment, I'll have to draw a green replacement. So I sent 3 out. I only brought 2 home successfully. We did a whole whopping 50 points of damage. 3 aircraft reached the target, so I would divide that by 3, I believe. 16.33. So 16 points, and I don't think we get any bonuses either. So that's a terrible score. 16 is terrible. And that's going to knock our average down. We've actually been doing pretty well thus far. But that's going to do it for this episode of the campaign. Now, let me adjust my shot, and we'll look at the timers and the crew situation here. Okay, so we have to roll for the length of the before we get our destroyed aircraft back. So roll, we got a 10. So I'm just going to call that an 8, I guess. So I realized you can't actually see that chart. So let me zoom out. Up here is our chart for damaged aircraft, repair and replace. I'm just going to put 1 on 8 and say that if you roll a 10, it's going to be an 8. 8, 9, or 10 will be an 8. And so we get a second 8. So we'll put both destroyed aircraft on there. We'll get those. It goes down 1 each mission. You also roll for crew. So I rolled the last turn, and we got 3s for our pilot and gunner who were killed in the previous mission. So they're down to 2. After this mission, I need to update everybody else. But let's roll for our pilot who was killed, and he gets a 2. So I'm going to put 2 pilots there, and there will be green pilots that when they return. Now, as far as everybody else, everybody who did not fly, and I haven't put Weigel and Fryan back on the board yet. They lose 1 crew stress, so I pull 1 crew stress off for everybody, except Rupert, because I already put him on there. So as you can see, we have less crew stress now on a lot of our crews. This one becomes a 1, so I'll just slide this guy down. The counters can be a little bit, like I could use tweezers, but I'm bad with tweezers. My manual dexterity is not what it used to be, let's put it that way. And these guys both become 1s. And I think that covers everything. So this is our current situation. So in our next mission, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 crews that have no stress. So that'll probably be who I'll send out. So it'll be Rudel and Hagen, Kluber and Peckren, Stein and Hazet, and Denort and Fernandez will be probably our 4 that will fly mission number 5. And I'll also provide an update once I do the math of where we are campaign-wise. Luckily, this is 18 missions for the campaign. For the Barbarossa portion of the campaign, at least if I decide to go on and do Case Blue and Kursk as well. and that would change things. Kursk will be interesting to play because you get the G model Stuka. So I may do a separate video on that. I don't know that I'm going to do 18 videos on this entire campaign unless I do something that's more of like a recap, perhaps. But anyway, that will do it for this video. I do appreciate you guys watching, as always. I definitely appreciate it, and thank you for that. And we'll be back in a week with another installment here for the 5th mission in our campaign. Please consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing, or posting a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But until next time, I'm Joe. This is Hexed Encountered, and as always, happy gaming.